Lagos court orders remand of Emefiele, former governor of Nigeria's central bank, in the custody of the EFCC. Edo Assembly impeaches Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu, appoints Godwins as replacement. Members of the House of Representatives demand the resignation of the acting chairman of the People's Democratic Party of alleged anti-party activities. And outside of Nigeria, leaders of Rwanda and South Africa discuss DR Congo unrest, reaffirm commitment to ending conflict. The junta in Niger doubles down on order for U.S. troops to leave the country. Tonight on Politics HQ, as the People's Democratic Party's National Executive Committee meeting draws ever so closer, the tension in the party is increasing on a daily basis. Today, a flurry of developments further heightening that tension. We'll look at the latest developments in an exclusive interview with a member of the People's Democratic Party's Board of Trustees, Chief Olawale George. We'll also speak with other stakeholders of the party. I'm Kofi Bartels. Politics HQ starts now. You're welcome. Let's start with a developing story emerging this evening. At least 60 members of the PDP House of Representatives or 60 PDP House of Reps members are threatening to leave the party. Yes, if the acting national chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, stays in office beyond the scheduled National Executive Committee meeting, which holds on Thursday, April the 18th. Well, that's not all. The 60 lawmakers are led by Representative Ikenga Ugochinyere, who represents Idiato North and Idiato South, a federal constituency of Imo State. And they are saying, or they are alleging, that the chairman of the party has engaged in alleged anti-party activities. That's not all. They're accusing Damagum of being in bed with the ruling All Progressives Congress. They're also accusing him of plotting to use the federal high court to legalize the extension of the tenure of a local government area's chairman in River State and other states, I think 19 of those states in the country. The PDP currently has about 100 members in the House of Representatives. So if 60 of them step aside, then you know what to expect. Well, let's listen to Representative Ugochinyere.
Imagine the suffering of Nigerians because PDP as opposition does not have direction due to the activities of Damagum. This is very disheartening. Disheartening because this is a man who is not supposed to be in the office in the first place. He was only constitutionally allowed to step in, hold the fort and midwife the process through the North Central Zone, where the chairmanship of the party was originally zoned to present another person who will complete the slot of North Central. Now, not only did Damagum hold tight onto the seat for over a year now, he has abandoned the responsibility of the office of chairman of PDP and is very comfortable serving APC interests. Mr. Damagum went ahead and received a list of APC agents and announced them as members and leaders of PDP local government caretaker committee, homes only in Rivers and partially in at least 10 states. This is a direct attempt to kill the PDP and ensure it goes into extinction. Let us call on Damagum once again. Damagum, 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 how many times did we call you? Voices have risen from the National Assembly to speak out and stop you. You have a chance to resign immediately, leave or be embarrassed out of the party.
Damagum, 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 how many times did I call you? The words of Representative Ikenga Ugochinyere. Well, ahead of the party's National Executive Committee next week, it's a battle for control of the leadership of the party ahead of the 2027 general elections. It's already started. Yeah, this 2024, the battle has already started between former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar on one hand, and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and former Governor of Nyesom Wike of River State, Nyesom Wike on the other hand. The history of both men before, during, and after the 2023 presidential election is well documented. We'll look at all that as well as cast our eye to what's happening in Edo State. Joining me tonight on the program, we have none other than Ogundele, Sikirulai. Olawale is the chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State, and Edwin Adai, who is also a member of the People's Democratic Party. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
What's your reaction to the demand by the PDP representatives? Let's start with you, Adai.
Well, good evening, Nigerians. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we seem to have a connection issue with you, and I will come back to you shortly when that is sorted out. Ogundele or Olawale, are you there? All right, we'll go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. We will begin our conversation tonight with Chieftain of the People's Democratic Party in Lagos State. He's a life member of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party and former National Executive member, that's a National Working Committee member of the PDP, also a founding member of the party. Chief Olawale George, good evening to you, and many thanks for your time tonight, sir.
Yeah, a very good evening too to you.
Right, thank you very much.
Let me wish all our Muslim brothers Baraka de Salah, as we say in this part of the world. It's a pleasure to be part of this discussion.
Fantastic, fantastic. You're looking well yourself, and we also happy to have you join us on the program tonight. Let's start by taking your reaction to today's developments. At least 60 members of the People's Democratic Party in the House of Representatives are threatening to leave the party unless the acting chairman, Damagun, steps aside during the forthcoming National Executive Committee meeting of the party. What's your take on that?
Now, as an elder, as a member of the Board of Trustees of our party, let me appeal to the honorable members in the House. Fortunately, yes, it's been quite a long time that we had a NEC meeting. But next week, there's the caucus meeting, the Board of Trustees meeting, and then the NEC meeting. These three bodies are so vital in the management of our party. So I will appeal to them to calm their nerves. Between these three major organs, we will resolve the imbroglio that is going on. I have listened to a lot of comments, but the most important thing, and I want to remind our party leaders at all corners, that if there will be crisis in any organization, but your ability to manage the crisis, your ability to be able to tell the truth to power will convince the majority of Nigerians that this is a party to depend upon. There is no organization in the world that is always trouble-free. And I've listened to all this. They said that Magun should resign. If Ayu was not out, he wouldn't even have stepped in. Constitutionally, because Ayu was out, he became acting because the way he was elected to the party was Deputy National Chairman North. So whatever is going on, I want to plead with our people. We've had worse crises than this in the past. Let all these major organs sit down, put the fear of God before us, and then tell ourselves some serious home truths. And I am sure by the end of NEC meeting next week, all this would have been settled. We looked at it. We altered course sometimes before the elections. All this crisis started when, we had a meeting where people discussed the rotation, the zoning. Initially, people said there's no need for any more zoning. We looked at the Constitution. Section 7, subsection 3C is very absolute about zoning and rotation. But since that time, we have not been really acting like a united party. And a divided house will remain a defeated house.
Okay, so sir,
so as an elder, I want to plead with everybody. Let them calm down.
Okay.
At the end of next week, this party will be back in full operation.
So Chief Bode George, you are pointing to what happened during the 2023 general elections, where Atiku Abubakar, who is, was the presidential candidate of the party at the time and aspirant, refused to step aside and allow those from the southern part of the country move ahead for the ticket. You're saying the zoning is enshrined in the constitution of the PDP. Some will argue that Section 3 you talked about, or Chapter 3 of the party's constitution, addresses the party's internal executive positions and not political elections. What do you say to that?
Now, there were too many actions and reactions, and there were even certain committees that were set up to look at this problem of zoning and rotation. Like I said, Section 7, subsection 3C of our Constitution states it very clearly. But there was a reason why they decided that all the zones should come together and work. I want to appeal to all other members of our party to please calm down in the interest of the founding fathers of our party. We will go back next week. We will shut the doors, tell ourselves some serious home truths, and I am sure that this party will revamp. This party will come back to its national state. It is true what you said, these are observations and that, but it is something that is not impossible to resolve. All I am pleading with all members and at every level is to calm down. Now, it is true there was no NEC meeting for a long time. Now, we have the three most important organs of the party meeting next week. And as a founding leader of this party, I want to plead with all our people and those in the House of Reps, some of the governors, and their, the disagreements you're having. We are putting our heads back, and we saw what happened in the final analysis at the election. And I am very, very, very positive that when we shut the doors of the headquarters to tell ourselves some home truths, we will be able to resolve this crisis. That is why I call the PDP the Iroko political party of Nigeria.
Yeah, Chief, you seem so...
The people who...
Yes, sorry, Chief. You seem so confident that all will be well when the PDP shuts its doors on the 18th of April. And of course, we have the BOT meeting, which you will be a part of, as well as other meetings, 3 meetings in particular. But right now, the division in the party is quite apparent between those who are loyalists of Nyesom Wike / the G5 group and those who are loyalists of Atiku Abubakar. The NEC is divided along those lines. The National Working Committee is divided along those lines. I don't know about the Board of Trustees. And some are alleging that all that will happen will be that some people who are anti-party agents who come there to scatter everything and make sure it doesn't work. How confident are you that that closing of the door will yield any positive results?
You know, what I'm saying to you, I was there at that meeting. I was not very happy about the discussions going on, the kind of tantrums that people were throwing up and down the whole place. But now we've gone to the battle. We've seen the results. Who should be in the villa now? If Obi had remained in PDP, Kwankwasia has remained in the PDP, and if you add all their figures together, who should be in the villa? So I am pleading that let us go back, revisit, do a thorough analysis of what had impacted the party negatively. We won't fight. But as members of the same family, we don't need to go to the marketplace to undress ourselves and tell the whole world what is this, what is that. Is there any party, any political party in the world, even the biggest nations in the world, are having problems in trying to get things through with their parties in their country? Is it in America? Is it in England that you don't have? It is normal that when you have any organization, you can all not be looking in the same direction all the time. But you must divide and design a system whereby you revisit it and tell everybody to drop their personalization of the party. And then, you know, the truth will be told. And I am sure at the end, we will get the party back to normal. I am very positive. I've been there since 1998.
Yeah.
And I have seen worse scenarios in the past. We will get there.
All right, Chief.
Please.
All right, Chief. We'll come back to you, look at more details of some of the demands by the House of Representatives members, and of course, some of the issues facing the party ahead of its leadership meetings next week. It's still a politics issue. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The issues bedeviling Nigeria's former ruling party, the People's Democratic Party, quite well documented and leading many to wonder if the party will survive, and come back, even make a comeback as a ruling party in the near future. Our guest this evening on Politics HQ is former member of the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, founding member of the party, and a life member of the Board of Trustees, leader of the party in Lagos State, Chief Olawale George, joins us via video link. Chief George, thanks for your time one more time. Let's look at the leadership of the party. Why do you think it's taking so long for acting chairman Damagum to call the statutory NEC meeting? It's over 15 months since the last NEC meeting was held, and that was held when IU was the national chairman. This is leading some of the stakeholders in the party to assume that Damagum is working for interests in the All Progressives Congress. What do you say to that, sir?
You know, all kinds of flyers, all kinds of stories, all kinds of... I haven't been to Abuja for a while, and we knew they were holding meetings, and some of us suggested that, look, it is important to set up a reconciliation committee that will go around the whole states, because all is not well for now. But we want to make sure that we make it well. And we want to tell Nigerians that we have the capacity, the ability, the high quality men and women who can handle this crisis and come to a resolution, a positive resolution. So stories here, stories there. Please, let everybody calm down. By next week, the caucus will meet. The board of trustees will meet. The board of trustees is the upper chamber of the party that must be involved in settling issues. That's why we don't do elections in the board of trustees. Now, then the NEC, the National Executive Committee of the party, which is the next most important organ after our convention. So I am pleading with those who are so terribly dissatisfied. Let us go there. Let us go and meet. Let us discuss.
Yeah, but Chief, I was asking you, Chief, I was asking you if
disagree.
Yeah, Chief, I was asking you if you agree with the notion or the view that there are some, APC agents, let me call it that, in the leadership of your party. I want to take a quote from an excerpt from what Representative Ugochinyere said today. He said, and I quote, "The party is now heading for the final slaughter shed. The party is now heading for the final slaughter shed." He said this is due to the action of undercover APC agents in the party's leadership. What do you think about this?
I mean, that's his own view.
Do you agree?
The issue. You haven't had the views of those who are accused. You must come to equity with clean hands. Let us go back in there. And I am still saying all is not lost. In any society, there would be disagreement. You can disagree, but you must never be disagreeable. There's nothing that is... Look, in this party, we had waded into so many problems in the past, and we were able to resolve them.
But Chief, I want to yeah, Chief, I'm sorry,
and
sir.
I am sure at the end of that meeting, NEC meeting next week on the 18th, you will hear a good resolution.
Chief, I want you to tell me if you agree with those who say there are APC moves in the PDP's national leadership. I want you to address that, sir, because apart from Ugochinyere, who spoke today, representative, last week it was Gabriel Suswam, former governor of Benue State, who was saying that there are some surreptitious or subterranean characters in the APC who are working for external forces in a bid to render the party useless. I want you to address that, sir. Is it true?
And, everybody should please calm down. I have been there for over 25 years. I've seen worse scenarios in the past. But by the grace of the Almighty God and the commitment of our party members, we will leave that meeting of NEC all back to the way we were. I can assure you of that. Because I've listened, to all the vituperations, all the fireworks of people here and there. Why? Because we lost the election. And because we lost the election, we should roll back, find out, do a deep-rooted post-mortem analysis. And then we will be able to caution ourselves and advise ourselves and put people back there. Now, the issue of Damagun is effectively the deputy national chairman, North. And there can't be a vacuum when he was out. So he started acting. So acting doesn't mean that he has already fixated himself in that position. No. We advise, we've been talking, let's have this meeting. Let us go and sort ourselves out. There are crises in each state of the federation, which is normal, because this is the result of losing a general election.
So Chief, are you therefore saying that Damagun will return?
deep-rooted
to his position.
Post-mortem analysis.
Yeah. Chief, are you therefore saying that Damagum will return to his position as...
If we want to get back. But the beauty of our party is this. The old men who established the party made sure that that Iroko tree had a deep-rooted, the roots were solid. Otherwise, by now, with a little wind, we would have disappeared into oblivion. Not like these other political parties. No. Go to every part of Nigeria, you will find a PDP there. And so, with that, all we need to do now, because people personalized positions, elections, and all that, that had gone, and we must now settle down. So please, I want to appeal to all those sectors that are all up in arms fighting themselves to, like they say in the north, kadan kada.
All right, Chief, I don't know if you can hear me.
East,
I don't know if you can hear me, Chief Bode George. But I want you to speak to, you've talked about post-mortem. You've talked about, stock taking. Part of the post-mortem and the solution for the party, will it involve, because I want you to speak clearly on this, are you saying that Damagum is going to return back to his position as Deputy National Chairman North? That's what you are advocating for, to allow for the emergence of a new national chairman substantive from the North Central geopolitical zone. Is that what you're saying, sir? All right, we're back in our conversation due to some technical difficulties. We do not have Chief Olawale George at this hour, but we will try to reconnect with him as time permits. Let's move over to our next guest, Edwin Adai. Edwin Adai is a member of the People's Democratic Party. Good to have you. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right. I want you to tell me where you stand on the demands made by the representatives of the PDP today. They're asking for the national chairman not to last beyond, the acting national chairman not to remain in office beyond the NEC meeting. Otherwise, they'll leave the party. They also share their thoughts on what they say some APC agents in the leadership of the party, as well as the situation with the caretaker state executives, local government executives, and ward executives in Rivers State and other states in the Federation. Where do you stand in all of this, Adai?
Well, first of all, good evening, Nigerians. I would like to start by thanking the national leader of our great party, the person of Chief Olawale George, a life member of the Board of Trustees, for finding it worthy to have come to this platform to do justice to some of the challenges that we are facing in the party. Well, sincerely, this is not the time for us to begin to ask, where do I belong or where do I stand? I think just like the national leader of the party have said, he is the member of the NEC, he is the member of the Board of Trustees, and therefore, when the national leaders in that capacity have spoken, then it is expected that all of us who are younger persons in the party should adhere to the voice of wisdom and the voice of reasoning. Yes, I can understand that there are dissenting voices. There are pockets of interest that is playing out within the party. There are those who are disenchantment on the ground that they felt the agreement they had with the state national chairman of the party when they met with the leadership of the party in respect to, the gentleman agreement they had, as in those who would take over as a caretaker committee members within the various states. Some of those pockets of interest are still playing out. But just like the national leader have said, everybody just have to, calm down. Let's reason. We are talking about one family here. Whatever it will be the vituperations, whatever will be the anger, whatever it will be the interest at play, I think it
Are you there? Okay, let's go back to the House of Representatives. We want to listen again to Representative Ikega Ogochinere and his colleagues, some of whom you are seeing on your screen, to get some context for those of you who missed it. Try to understand exactly what the House of Representatives members of on the platform of the PDP are demanding, at least 60 of them.
Imagine the suffering of Nigerians because PDP as opposition does not have direction due to the activities of Damagu. This is very disheartening. Disheartening because this is a man who is not supposed to be in the office in the first place. He was only constitutionally allowed to step in, hold the fort and midwife the process through the North Central Zone, where the chairmanship of the party was originally zoned to present another person who will complete the slot of North Central. Now, not only did Damagu hold tight onto the seat for over a year now, he has abandoned the responsibility of the office of chairman of PDP and is very comfortable serving APC interests. Mr. Damagu went ahead and received a list of APC agents and announced them as members and leaders of PDP local government caretaker committee, home solely in Rivers and partially in at least 10 states. This is a direct attempt to kill the PDP and ensure it goes into extinction. Let us call on Damagu once again. Damagu, 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 how many times did we call you? Voices have risen from the National Assembly to speak out and stop you. You have a chance to resign immediately, leave or be embarrassed out of the party.
All right, quite interesting development there by Representative Ogochinere, who never fails to add some humor, some drama to his speeches. Chief Olawale George, I'm sure you have seen that the display by your House of Reps member. Finally, before you go, sir, what do you think should be the way forward regarding the ambition of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? So that's number one. And then number two, the fate of the members of the G5/integrity group who worked against the party, some of whom are still working against the party as we speak today. Sir.
You know, my take on this is very simple. Like I said, if you are a member of a family and you have crisis, you don't go to the marketplace to start displaying or arguing your family issue. I have a very strong belief that next week will be the weekday where this party will conclusively handle the post-mortem analysis of what went wrong. Discussing them, abusing one side and placating another side, that's not the way to manage. Let me appeal to the young minds in the National Assembly. Of course, you are key members of our party. You are part of the strength of this party. I want to plead with you, all right, that the most important organ after the National Convention, which is the number one organ, we will be discussing these issues next week. Why don't you calm down so that all these vituperations, all this anger that are being thrown out and all that, questions will be asked. Discussions will be placed on the table. And I am sure, like I said, that by the grace of the Almighty God, thank God the Christians have just finished their fasting. And the Muslims are also finishing their... So we should have that belonging, that sense of belonging and fear of the Almighty God. We will resolve this crisis. It is not totally out of control for us. This political party is an Iroko. You know what Iroko is in the forest? With our taproot solid on the ground.
Yeah, but Chief George, you are not. You're playing safe here, Chief. You're playing safe. and you're not really telling me which direction you think the party should go in, sir. Chief, are you going to play safe till you leave? I want you to tell me if you think the members of the party who worked against the party during the elections and are still working against the party should be shown the door. And then also, number two, if Atiku should continue to pursue his ambition, or you would support a call for him to relinquish his ambition so the party can move forward, sir.
You know, let me tell you something. I had been in this party long enough. There was a time at the convention floor, some of our people who were contesting with Jonathan walked out of the convention hall. In the end, they went and joined another party. And what happened? They found out that it was worse in the other party they went. And they all came back to the party. It's not novel. It's not new to us. And I can tell you, because when we shut the doors at that meeting, by the grace of God Almighty, we will be able to tell ourselves some serious home truth and resolve this crisis. It is not like it's the end of the road. No. Once in a while, you know, the journey of life, you get into some tunnels and into some roundabout, and it's not a 100-meter dash race too.
Chief, do you believe that those, for instance, the minister of the FCT is working in the interest of the PDP?
Look, those things, how can I tell you? When was the last time I saw him? All I see is I read their talks on the... So, look, I'm pleading to Nigerians, and I'm confident that when we meet next week, all this hula baloo will be put to rest. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Oh. And we will tell ourselves some home truth. Thank God there are still elders. You know, what am I looking for now? That I will not be able to tell you exactly what you have done?
All right.
So okay, let the young honorables just remain calm and watch the way we will resolve this crisis next week. By the grace of God,
all right.
We will.
Chief Olawale, George, thank you very much for your time tonight. It's been good to have you, even though you refused to be direct in your answer. But we're grateful. Maybe we'll wait till after the NEC, BOT, and caucus meetings. Then we'll have you again. Thank you very much for your time. All right, we go for a break. We will come back and round off on the program tonight. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's the Politics Issue right here on News Central Television. We want to, bring other guests in before we say goodbye on the conversation tonight. Ogundele Sikirulai, Olawale is chairman of the People's Democratic Party in Ogun State. Good evening to you, Ogundele. And we also have Edwin Adai, who was with us earlier, a member of the PDP. Gentlemen, I want to go to Ogundele before I come back to you, Adai. Ogundele, what do you think the decision of the party should be regarding these allegations or suggestions that they are agents of the APC in the leadership of the PDP?
Yeah, first and foremost, let me thank you for giving me this opportunity to have my voice tonight on this important discussion. I want to start by saying that I want to start on a very lighter mood. What we're having tonight is like having Jesus Christ preached in a church. What do you expect the pastor to say? Chief Bode George has been so explicit. He has said the minds of, most of the PDP members. We are looking up to having a meeting next week. That is the NEC meeting. By the grace of Almighty God, we are going to, so many people are expected to show their grievances which is going to be maturely handled, and we'll resolve it, no doubt about it.
All right.
We've had enough made. We've suffered being out of government, and we're all looking up to having all this row settled. I don't have any doubts in my mind. We're going to get the problems settled.
All right.
At the next meeting.
Okay. Ogundele says Sikirulai Olawale. We have to leave with that because of time. Unfortunately, the network hasn't been too favorable to our guests tonight, but it happens. We'll be back tomorrow with more conversations on the latest developments in politics in Nigeria. My name is Kofi. Bartels. Good night.